playing as Alans, part of Agony, of course. I'm up against Atheas, the Agartha clan, who's in command of the Geats on plains. So my builds, as you know, with the Alans are all quite similar, but this time I have made some changes. As you can see, I have, well, I'm putting it into slow motion. I have my Germanic nobles general with brace, as usual, in the center. But I have 5 Germanic archers, and up front 2 Germanic pikes supported by a noble Germanic swordsman on each flank. Then on my right flank, as you can see, I have a noble Germanic swordsman with an elite Atheas warrior. 3 Germanic horse, gold 1. Then on my left flank, 3 Germanic horse, mostly gold 1, 1 gold 2. And then again the noble Germanic swords and elite Atheas warrior on this flank. Again, noble Germanic swords, mostly because of the encourage and disciplined trait. They're very, very tanky, so it's quite nice to have those switched around, and I'm trying something new compared to the general 3 Sarmatian warband on the right, 3 Sarmatian warband on the left, basically. So we'll see if it's actually good or not. Anyway, Atheas has decided to go for actually a Warhound, which quite surprised that he actually brought that unit, but we'll see if it's going to be effective or not for him. Has his general on his left flank. This is very interesting. He is a fear general, as he has the Warcry ability. Then let's see the rest of his forces. He actually has 5 Nordic hurlers up front. No, make that 4 Nordic hurlers with a Nordic bow unit. Then on his left, besides his Nordic warlord general, we see a bronze 1 Nordic axe warrior. Gotta be really careful with these guys in a cap fight. Then 3 Nordic horse lords, silver 1, and actually one of them is silver 2. On his right though, we see also 3 Nordic horse lords, all silver 1. Supported by a Nordic axe warrior, bronze 1 as well. As for the center, besides the skirmishing contingent, we have 3 herdmen, just the tanky units in the center basically. 2 bronze 1, 1 bronze 2. Actually, is it? No, we actually have 4 herdmen, my bad. So this one is also bronze 1. And then over here we see a Nordic axe warrior, bronze 1 as well. So we'll see. He has 3 Nordic axes in total. So I'm gonna hit play and we'll begin with the game. So in this game I have an advantage in terms of, well, let's see. I have a pretty big advantage in terms of skirmishing, as I have Germanic archers over Nordic hurlers, and the Germanic archers are much better, of course. Then I have some pikes, which he doesn't, so my center is much better defended than his. Then I have, actually he has an advantage in terms of cavalry, because Nordic horse lords will actually do fairly well against Germanic horsemen if they get their jabs off. But then in the cav fight, yes, he has Nordic axe warriors, which can support, but I have the elite Atheas, which are very, very scary as well, and they have unbreakable, something that Nordic axe warriors don't have. So it's something to keep in mind. Over here you can see I'm using flaming shot because, as you can see, the Nordic hurlers have quite low armor, so it's not really gonna matter too much. As you can see, they're still falling quite rapidly even to flaming shot, and flaming shot's gonna mean that they'll rout faster. I mean, probably in an ideal situation you want to use standard shot in the beginning, and like once the unit falls down to, let's say, like 80 men or something, or 70, you're gonna turn on flaming, but to be super efficient, because the standard shot has more AP than the flaming shot. But I mean, it's just something to keep in mind, I guess. But anyway, his warhounds are moving up, and my center, it's gonna be hard for him to break through, because herdmen, they're actually medium, so they're not gonna have a really easy time breaking through Germanic pikes. Besides, I have noble Germanics on the sides of my center, so these guys in shield wall, they're gonna be hard to break through, and now I'm repositioning them. And once in shield wall, even cav charges won't do insanely well against them. Especially the deeper they are, the better their bracing is. As you can see here, getting ready to activate shield wall, I believe. But I take a little bit too long actually, and he does get in here. It's not very good for me here, actually. This is pretty bad because my Noble Germanics, you can see them falling rapidly now. Though I do pull back my Elite Agathyrsi, I managed to keep most of them alive. This engagement isn't perfect for me, but these units are going to get overrun very quickly and they're going to die. So now I notice that he's moving the units on his right flank to his left. But now he turned them around, so he's like, okay, I'm moving my units here, so he's just going to attack my flank with the Elite Agathyrsi. This is a good move by him, and I actually noticed it a little bit too late. But I'm going to activate over here the shield wall, and he doesn't actually charge with his Nordic Horse Lords until a bit late, so I get some extra jabs off. That's basically unnecessary, but he gets a nice charge into my Agathyrsi, so that's not good for me at all. But I think that he's actually committing a little bit too much here. So as you can see, my Noble Germanic Swordsmen are doing very well here, and soon enough I will be able to rout his Nordic Horse Lords. He's engaging his Nordic Warlord, which has to be careful with, because if his general dies, well, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble. I've committed mine, but this commitment is fine. It's just a Nordic Horse Lord with 19 men. This unit should rout for him. But again, I'm not in shield wall, so I'm not taking advantage of the Noble Germanic Swords as well as I could be. But the Elite Agathyrsis here are going to kill a lot of men. And I've got a Germanic Horse coming around. It should do fairly decently against this Nordic Horse Lord, but now it's engaged, so it's not going to do that well anymore. I've got this Germanic Horseman going around here. My Elite Agathyrsi still alive, so they're going to do well against that Nordic Horse Lord in prolonged melee. I've broken through here because he just overcommitted with that unit into the center with the Nordic Horse Lord, so it just died very quickly. I was able to break through, and now I have this Germanic Horseman, which is going to be huge for me. Like, one free cavalry unit is going to do a lot. He actually broke through my center because, again, Germanic pikes are fairly weak, and even herdmen can break through, only losing like 20 men. So you have to be really careful with pikes, because they're really good against cav, but they can even get broken through by herdmen. I mean, of course, if you put your pikes in like 3 to 4 ranks deep, the herdmen will take more casualties trying to break through, but generally you just want to spread out the pikes as much as possible to make sure that the cavalry goes, that the cavalry can't break through your center, essentially. That's the thing about pikes. They're more anti-cav than anti-infantry, to say the least. Just cav blockers. That's the point of them, at least from what I have seen in game so far. Anyway, my left flank isn't doing too well, but it's holding, and I'm gonna win here as well with Germanic Horsemen against Nordic Horse Lords, especially with Elite Agathyrsi warrior support. I'm gonna get my Germanic Horsemen into the Nordic bows, but yeah, at this point it's looking fairly good for me. It's gonna be an engagement over here. Probably should have just shield walled my Noble Germanic Swords, but at this point I'm feeling fairly confident that it's not really gonna matter, so I might as well just charge my units in to finish it quicker. I'm doing some friendly fire, but the angle isn't that terrible as long as my guys shoot at these units over here on the flanks. And I believe now his units routed off the field and a Pyrrhic victory, so yeah, it was a fairly interesting game for sure. I think that he overcommitted a little bit, which is why he ended up losing, especially that cavalry unit in the center, which he lost for basically nothing, trying to get to my general, and he didn't manage to. Look, my general is alive and well still at the end of the battle. That was a huge overcommitment by him, especially considering that it's max 6 cavalry. Like, one free cavalry unit is going to do so much damage, which is exactly what happened in that game. But yeah, that is the game, so I hope you guys and girls enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment or subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I shall see you next time.